Okay, it's mostly a brick house. And we got some siding. These are control joints, expansion joints, call them what you will. You should look at them every couple years. Okay, what does sealant do? It gets dry, it shrinks, it pulls away. Brick is a very good building material. Okay, this home could burn down, you could reuse the brick. It's a very good insulator, but it's very porous and water goes through it, so your lawn sprinkler system shouldn't be beating on it. I've got a report that at least one of the window screens is torn. I'm going to be looking for that. This one, maybe? Maybe this one's torn? My client tells me it's always like that. All this water is just sitting here. Maybe it'll dry in 2 days. Will the yard last another year? We're going to get some mosquito bites? We're going to get some West Nile disease? Rain gutters should discharge the water at least 6-8 feet away from the house. They put these little down splash blocks. They put them backwards. I don't know. I give the home inspector something to talk about, I guess. Okay. Now I get it. You can't bring the rain gutter downspout out in the middle like this. So they should go underground. Since they can't do it right, it should go underground. French drains. Since we're not getting any drainage. And speaking of drainage, we got a dam right here. See that transformer? Okay, it's not letting any water by. Now this one's going to be difficult, and I hate doing that, but it's true. A tree should not be placed closer than 25 feet to a slab foundation to allow for root growth, so the roots don't rob moisture from your foundation, because you're supposed to we're on expansive clay soil, and we're supposed to keep it evenly hydrated around the perimeter of the structure year round, and the tree's going to sit there and rob that water. The tree can also move. It'll move a sidewalk, it'll move a street, and it'll certainly move your house. So as the roots are robbing your water, they're growing and causing pressure onto the structure. Now if you look up and down the street though, you'll see every house has the same arrangement. It's probably a homeowners association thing, and you're probably not going to be able to change it. I hope I'm wrong. I'm telling you the trees are too close. But don't be surprised if it's a homeowners association thing. Where do termites live? In the ground. Okay. What do they eat? Dead wood. Okay. Well, what's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. That's called a clue. That's where they live. That's where they eat. Now, this is a new home, probably 5-6 years. You're not going to have any trouble for termites. They haven't gotten the change of address sign or whatever. But eventually, if you tell me that you got termites on this wall, the wall that's got the wood mulch next to it, the only thing I got for you is that I told you so. Okay. Moving on along. These holes over the weeps, okay, they're supposed to be there because we've disrupted the drainage plane, because brick is porous, remember that? So we've disrupted the drainage plane. And so for the water that gets into the brick to get out over this lintel, we have these weep holes, just like we have weep holes around the foundation perimeter, because that is where the drainage plane terminates, behind the brick. Building science. But now these lintels that are extending, this isn't the only one. We can kind of see, and I'm really impressed because the lintels seem to be what I can see, what's visible to me. The lintels were installed properly sized, and it's not always the case. But whether you can kind of see them telegraphing through the mortar right there, that should be painted. You can paint it the same color as, it doesn't matter what color. But I can see it's not painted, and when it rusts, it'll expand, and when it expands, it's going to cause you cracking. So that should be painted. I would use a sandy colored paint so that it matches the mortar, but whatever it is, it hasn't been painted, and it should be. Moving on along. Okay. Now, rain gutter butt ends. Oh, look at you. Well, I might as well tell you what's right with the house. Rain gutter butt ends is supposed to be about 1 inch away from the structure, and they are. Look at that. Man, that's pretty good. Now we're in our portico, and I get it, it's covered, and we got a Ring doorbell and all that. And I understand it's covered, it's kind of protected from the weather. That's our fresh air induction fan for the air conditioning system. I like the location. All right. So, but I'm still of the, and this conversation can go both ways. And we can argue they should have an in-use cover so that when you plug in your Christmas lights, for example, or if you got a yard sign or whatever you're doing, you plug something in. This is left open. And back in the day, that was fine. But no, we've decided now that we want an in-use cover. That's like a big bubble cover that fits over it, so you can plug your stuff into it, close the cover. You don't have to worry about water getting in there. That's the way we do it. That's modern times. There's similar. What does sealant do? It gets dry, cracks, peels, separates. Think water can get in there? I do. So yeah, we need a little bit of sealant there and around, like some of the windows we already talked about. I think we talked about them, but we will. But anyway, we need a little bit of sealant right there. And speaking of a little bit of sealant, we got our carriage lamp over here. This one over here, they did a good job. In fact, I want to show you this one because that's the way the other one is supposed to look. One of these is wrong. You're going to go take the sealant away from this one? I don't think so. Wouldn't it be easier just to put a little sealant over there? It would be easier just to apply. Yeah, we need sealant right there. So we're missing our sealant on that little booger. Moving on along, and then back to my point. The lintel's coming out. The lintel's been painted. I understand that the lintel was rusting and needed painting, and so now we got a little bit of our lintel sticking out right there. And again, I would go in with a sandy colored paint or something that matched. This one matches. Okay, it's not dark like the other ones, right? So we're moving the colors around. We can still do that. Moving on along, because we're kind of rolling here. The garage is the interior. Okay, I haven't really noticed anything horrific about it. I've got videos about the doors and the appliances and the breaker box. This is probably the third time. Okay, I think I got a separate video about this, but this is loose right here. This casing. Okay, it's just not feeling. You can almost feel the purchase in there. All right, moving on along. And there's something right above our address plaque. Got a little bit of separation, horizontal separation right there, and that little mortar. And we're going to find that, but it's time to seal it. It's time to seal it. So 1 year. We got another one right underneath our address plaque right here. And again, rain gutter does not discharge water far enough away. If it did charge water far enough away, it would be a nuisance. The answer to this is underground drainage. That's just the answer. There's no, I can't find an exception to the code about the length of the drain pipe. Somebody could show it to me, or the code inspector, the local code inspector who helped you build this house, if he could explain it to me. I want to learn. I'm a curious fellow. Somebody please teach me, educate me on this. Please educate me on this, and educate me on this drainage over here. Okay, so we move on along through the swamp. Alright. Anybody got West Nile disease yet? Still killing those mosquitoes. I'll save you. I'll just kill that mosquito. Okay. Thanks. You're welcome. What is that? No. That's just no. Coming on along over here, we're looking at some of our windows again. There's some more of this. There's some of the sealant. So the sealant is drying and separating, and we expect it to. Okay, that's no defect of the sealant. In fact, that's not even a defect of the sealant installer. See, in fact, if you want to know who installed it, there's his fingerprint right there. All right, you can trace his fingerprint down. That's some craftsmanship. But no, it's time. It's 1 year. House is still under warranty. I just encourage my client to watch the builder seal this, so that next year my client can do it for himself. So it'd be a learning experience. I'm sure it's goodwill. If the builder could demonstrate some goodwill and help my client understand home maintenance a little better, and then a little goodwill goes a long way. It's got me where I am today. Here. Okay. So working. Moving on along. This is our weather sensor for our lawn sprinkler system. Coming over here, we got a little bit of siding over here. Now, I'm torn. Okay? I'm torn about this. I'm just kind of get a look underneath here. If the siding, if the fenestration, if the window, okay, is closer to the soffit than 24 inches, then Z-bar flashing is not required over the casement and the window installer. And then we don't have it because, guess what? It's closer than 24 inches to the soffit. But on the other hand, we don't even have a soffit here. Okay, this is kicked out. There's your soffit right there. And what that soffit is marginal. Okay, this soffit is non-existent. So we are not protected by a soffit. So that rule about it being 24 inches, closer than 24 inches of the soffit, does not apply to these windows. What does that mean? It means we need Z-bar flashing over that casement and over the top edge of that. We're missing Z-bar flashing across all three of these windows. Yeah, we are. And I think I did a video about these weeps. Okay, I don't even know if traps come. There it is. See that? See the way the water's coming out of that? That's what it's supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do. How about that? Real life learning lesson. That's what it's supposed to do. But if we don't have those little traps in there, and I don't even know if you can find traps that fit these windows, but if we don't have traps in there, then bugs can get in, but also wind can get in and it can whistle. So, you know, there's that. There's those kinds of things. Again, second verse, same as the first. Now on this patio here, okay, we got some more windows and some more the caulking, but we've had some ongoing discussion about why this ceiling on the patio ceiling looks like it does. And I was out here with an infrared camera, which you're going to see shortly probably if you haven't seen it already. And I started looking at these things. I tried to see moisture markers, and I started noticing that there's nails everywhere the dark spots are. And I started noticing that I can see brush strokes. And this is mismatched paint on your ceiling to correct nail pops. Or something else. This one's a little different right over here. That one just looks different. That looks different all kinds of different ways. There's no nail pop. Oh, there's a nail. There's a nail. Maybe it is. Maybe I don't know why this one looks a little different. So we're coming on along. Because we're coming alongers. There's our windows and our weeps. And there's our yard. Now, here's about the yard. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit about the lawn sprinkler system. I think it's zones. In fact, I don't have to think. I got notes. Okay. Zones 4 and 5 are in this corner, and they're almost identical. I mean, the sprinkler head placement. It's like you're watering this area twice. Except that zone 4, I think it was 4, is that what my notes, short-term memory here. Yeah, 4 sprays the house and sprays the fence, and 5 doesn't. But the heads are still here. In fact, I initially wrote it as we had a repeat of stations. That's the way it reads in my notes. I know different now. But you do have 2 zones here. That's kind of unusual arrangement. I'm just kind of speaking to that a little bit. And then coming on along, and then our windows again. I'm looking inside of here. And, you know, there's some of the spots that it's peeling away. I thought I saw a better one. Oh, that's a good one. There you go. We like good ones. Right in there. Okay. Now over here, okay, our wall's crooked. Now our wall could be made correct. This could be corrected by taking this, okay, so what this is a tension cable, post-tension cable right there. And the previous inspection report said that the cable was exposed and needed to be sealed to keep it from rusting, which is the honest truth. But what the builder did is just come in, he didn't cut the cable back, he just put a big old glob, and so you got a pimple hanging out there. So now if I wanted to measure this, and let's just go for the, let's get fancy, let's go 4 feet, you know. If I want to measure this, well now the wall is over 1/2 inch square within 4 feet. So it doesn't meet the American Builders Association standards. They printed themselves. Okay, just like germination. And I was lost on that other video. And the germination, the Association of American Home Builders, they feel like the grass should grow. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But they're pretty adamant about it. They say the grass should germinate. And if your roots are rotten, your grass is not going to germinate. So It might dry in 48 hours, but will that yard last another year? I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously. So I encourage additional discussion about that and corrective measures. And it goes with a rain gutter that's too close to the house. Well, how are you going to get it over here? People are going to be stepping on it. It's got to go underground. If it's going to go underground, what are we going to do? We're going to have a drain that goes out to the front. That's what it takes to do it right. You don't have to listen to me. Talk to the code inspector. Have the code inspector revisit this. Explain this to him. Show him your report. I'd be very interested in what the code inspector has to say. All right, because he's the last word. You know that. So over here, we're back in the swamp, and this is where we started too. This is where we started with the germination speech.